What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package, and infrastructure update and daily news report for Tuesday, June 22nd. So we actually have a lot of news that is coming out over the past probably 24 hours. We're starting to get more and more reports as to what we are expecting to see over the coming days. Now, what I can tell you is this week is going to be a huge week. I say this not because we're expecting any breaking news on stimulus checks or anything like that. We are expecting the reveal, the big reveal from this bipartisan group of senators. This is going to happen sometime this week. Most are expecting it's either going to happen tomorrow or Thursday. Now, I want to break this down because what we see happen with a bipartisan infrastructure package is going to be huge for stimulus talks. It's going to be huge for climate change, Medicare, free community college, and everything in between. All right, now first, I just want to be 100% clear. Just because there are bipartisan talks happening right now does not mean we are going to see a bipartisan bill. And I want to explain why. What we know is that yesterday, President Biden said that he has some real concerns about this bipartisan infrastructure plan. He told Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema that he was encouraged by their plan and what has taken shape. However, he questions the means for funding the entire bill. He is not 100% sure exactly how this is going to play out. President Biden stated that he is adamant that nobody earning less than $400,000 per year should pay any more in taxes. The people that need to pay their fair share are people that are making millions of dollars, anybody making over $400,000, and those billionaires in our country. That is exactly what Senator Bernie Sanders wants as well. He wants to see people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk pay their fair share in taxes. Now, this means if nobody making under $400,000 per year will get a tax increase. This means that the gas tax increase is out of the question. President Biden said he is not supporting a gas tax increase. This also means, again, this group of bipartisan senators, at least according to reports, wants to index gas taxes with inflation. But at the same time, nobody wants to index Social Security benefits with inflation. Nobody wants to do other indexes with inflation, which is causing many Democrats to ask why. Why would we only index the gas tax with inflation and not other things? It doesn't make any sense other than this is a Republican priority. Now, we also know this group of bipartisan senators initially agreed on an electric vehicle fee or an additional tax. So if you have a Tesla or other electric vehicle, you never go to the pumps. You never go to put in any gasoline. So because of that, you never pay a gas tax, which means you are essentially driving on other people's roads because they are paying for it. I'm paying for it, but somebody with all electric vehicles doesn't have to pay this tax. So because of that, they're pretty much getting away as a free rider. Now, what we know is that for Democrats, especially more progressives, they are saying that no, we are not going to support an increase in gas taxes. We're not going to support a fee for electric vehicles because that is kind of against the what we are trying to do. We're trying to promote climate change, get people to go electric. And so increasing fees for electric vehicles, which are already fairly expensive, that makes it even harder for some people to afford a car like that. So they say that is something they will not support. Also, due to the major roadblocks that we're seeing, President Biden has stated that he is focused on a budget resolution through the Senate. This is exactly what Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said the other day, and this is something that they are moving forward with. Now, it is because of all these arguments that we're seeing right now that many say the only way to get through this infrastructure package and get through the Senate and pass any bills at this time. Again, remember, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who's a Republican, he said he's going to put 100% of his effort into blocking any legislation. We're going to see if that happens, but what I can tell you right now is some are saying the only way to get this done is to get rid of the filibuster. But here is what Senator Kyrsten Sinema had to say, who is a Democrat, but she was saying that she does not support getting rid of the filibuster. However, until recently, she never stated exactly why. Well, we finally have an answer from her. She says she will not vote to get rid of the filibuster because if Democrats are to try to pass bills, okay, that's great. They can pass these bills, get rid of the filibuster, pass all the bills they want to. However, then she says, then the GOP can simply overturn them later. So she is essentially coming out and saying that she's pretty much set that Democrats are going to lose the majority in the House and the Senate at some point. Whether that happens in 2022, we don't know. We got to wait for the election. But what I can tell you is that is 100% true. If Democrats do go and get rid of the filibuster, then what we know is that the GOP can come back, overturn all their rules, all their laws, all their legislation, and in addition, they can pass their own new legislation. So this is where some are saying we will get huge swings in policies. Now, I don't know how much this would impact us. It would probably be substantial, but again, until something like that happens, we just don't know. But this is also one of the reasons why many say we cannot get rid of the filibuster. And again, whether you're for it or against it, just understand, things always look greener on the other side. The grass is always greener. And maybe getting rid of the filibuster would be a great idea. But honestly, who knows? And that's something that many lawmakers at this point don't want to mess with. So we will see. But here's what the reports are coming out of this morning, okay? This morning, what we are hearing is that right now, even though many Democrats are against the bipartisan infrastructure package that is being put forth by, I think, like 21 senators. It's roughly split. I think it's like 11 Republicans, 10 Democrats at this time. What we know is that right now, Republicans have enough support. They have between 20 and 30 members who have publicly stated they would support this infrastructure package. However, what we know is there's roughly 6 to 8 Democrats that said they would not support this for one reason or another. Some are it's not big enough. Some are it doesn't have anything to do with climate change, right? Some are why are we letting the GOP dictate the proposals that we put in front of us? And so right now, those are some of the reasons why Democrats don't want to pass this. But here's what we know. Even if 6 to 8 Democrats reject this proposal, okay? So in the Senate, let's say 6 reject it. That would bring it down from 50 yeses down to 46. But then if you add in, let's say 20 yeses from the Republican side, that brings us to 66 yeses, okay? Or actually 64 yeses. Okay, so just that alone means it passes the filibuster. It's a filibuster-proof vote, right? We're good. We are good there. And it would pass. Well, that's where we are seeing more and more issues because even though Democrats would reject this, it would still pass because of Republicans. So what we know right now is that, and again, this is extremely important right now because if we see an infrastructure bill pass that is bipartisan, that means Democrats can go and pass a budget reconciliation bill and cover everything else, and it would actually be less expensive, which according to reports would actually help President Biden and the Biden administration for his upcoming election. Okay, so this is where things are getting a little bit tricky, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of people are saying that we have to pass a bipartisan bill because if we don't, Senator Joe Manchin wouldn't support a budget reconciliation after the fact. So we'll see. But according to experts, they believe that if a bipartisan bill is passed first and then Democrats go and do a budget reconciliation, we will see There will be expanded Medicare. This will also be included. This is something that Bernie Sanders has been pushing for. This is bringing the age from 65 down to 60, including dental, vision, and hearing as well. We know there will be free community college added as well. Some are actually wanting to get free school lunches in there also. There will be universal paid leave. Childcare also will be included. And here's the big thing. Many believe that they would then have the numbers, and when I say they, I'm talking about Democrats and the progressives, would then have the numbers to get a fourth stimulus check passed. Here's the reason why. In the House of Representatives currently, there are enough progressives, okay? There are enough progressives. I think there's like 50 some progressives. I think it's roughly around there. Don't quote me on that, but I think there's a little bit over 50 progressives right now that want to see a $2,000 monthly stimulus check pass. However, experts don't expect a monthly check to pass. It's too expensive, and they do not think that President Biden would even go for this. But they do expect lower income earners to be taken care of very soon. They expect low income earners, individuals, families, people on Social Security, fixed incomes. Those are the people that would most likely get possibly a $2,000 stimulus check. It would be a one-time payment. But what you need to understand right now is progressives have the numbers. If progressives decide they're going to band together and they will not support any bill, okay? They will not support any bill. Then they could have the numbers to block it in the House of Representatives. But the only way they could do that is if they band together and say all 50 progressives decide, no, we're not going to vote for a budget reconciliation. So we'll see. All right, we will see what happens there, but what we know is that it's really going to come down to the Senate. And if Bernie Sanders decides, you know what, I'm going to band together with the other progressives, then potentially we could see a deal done for another stimulus check. But just understand, this would just be for those that were hardest hit. This would be for those that are the lower income earners. This would be extremely targeted. So, not every person that received a $1,400 stimulus check is going to get this next fourth stimulus check. But again, keep in mind, these are still under discussions. Now, talking about stimulus checks, let's address what is happening across the United States in regards to the actual states themselves. In California, currently, many people are starting to receive their $600 Golden State stimulus checks. That's great news. People are starting to report that they're receiving them and they can actually use them. That is awesome. California is also considering not just providing stimulus checks to lower income and medium income families, but according to reports the other day, California is trying to pass legislation that would allow them to go and provide for renters that have a bunch of back rent. What we know, yesterday, California indicated they have a huge surplus of cash and they would like to spend roughly $5.2 billion to pay 100% of unpaid rents for lower income Californians. They also want to allot $2 billion for unpaid water and electricity bills. This is big. This is big because California actually has a surplus of cash. However, it's not just California. What we know is right now over 22 states, 22 different states at least, have some unused pandemic relief funding. So some states that are still, and they're still working out the details, but we are starting to get some reports and some ideas that are being told to us that some states are going to provide additional relief to their residents and the American people. And the details of how they're going to spend this money are slowly starting to come out. We know some states, they're going to send out smaller stimulus checks like California and Florida have done. Others will dedicate some of this money for back rent and other things like utilities. Some are going to use it for education, construction. Some are going to use it for local arts and more local businesses, which is very good. But as we get more information here, I promise I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. I just wanted to keep you updated on this because this is something that it's not, even though it's federal funding, it came into the states from the federal programs through this past stimulus package. But it's now states' money. They can do with it what they want in a way. They can't just go and pay for pensions. They can't do certain things like that. But they can help out their residents. And this is big because we are most likely going to see many states start to offer different types of stimulus. Whether it's to a business, to an individual, to a family, it doesn't matter. Now, here's the other thing I want to address. The child tax credits. I want to bring this up because a lot of people are asking questions regarding how much are they going to get? Will they have to pay this back? And there's a bunch of questions. So first off, how much will you get for a child tax credit? Well, the child tax credit payments, the monthly payments are going to start on July 15th, according to the IRS. They say that July 15th, then it'll go to August 13th, and then September 15th, October 15th, November 15th, December 15th. Okay, those are when the payments will come out. What we know is the IRS is going to give you $250 for any child that you have between 6 and 17. You'll get $300 per month for any child between 0 and 5. Now, according to the IRS, according to the way this bill was written, it is the age of your child at the end of the year. Okay, so on December 31st, is your child 18? If they are, okay, if they turned 18, let's say sometime in September, you wouldn't receive all the monthly payments. And if you did get all the monthly payments, let's say September, October, November, and December, right, those 4 months, if you receive that, you will have to pay those back. Okay, that's at least according to reports. All right. Now, one other thing is if you have a child, let's say this year, and you have a child in the next few months, right? You can go into the IRS portal once it's opened. It's not open yet. You can go in. You can modify your family size. You can modify your income, whether you're married or you're an individual, because this does impact it. I'm not sure exactly how, but according to many reports, that yes, if you are married, this impacts how much money you receive. I don't know if they're going to split it between the parents. Honestly, I have no clue. We have to wait and hear a little bit more from the IRS and see what this portal actually looks like once it's opened up. But what I can tell you is that if you make over, I think it's $150,000 as a couple, then you would actually receive a smaller amount of that child tax credit payment. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, if you make less than $150,000, it doesn't matter if you make $149,000 or if you made $4,000 for that year, you would still get the child tax credit payments, and it would be the full amount of $250 or $300 per month. Here's another question I get all the time. What if, what if I had no income in 2020? If you had no income in 2020, but you have children, guess what? You get the child tax credit payments. Okay, these are refundable tax credits. So you get the money, you get everything. You do not have to earn more than the tax credit in order to get it. You will receive every single penny of this. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you didn't work, if you had no income, don't worry about it. But you would most likely either had to file your unemployment or your income tax returns, or you'd have to use the non-filer portal at the irs.gov website. That is actually open right now. You can actually go and use that. Put your information, how many dependents you have, whether you're married, I think you need an email address. You can't do it on mobile. You have to do it on a computer or a laptop. It's only in English. So again, there are some barriers there, but this is money that you could potentially be using to pay for your kids, to put food on the table, to pay for rent and things like that. So I know there's a lot of questions regarding what's coming up, what's happening regarding the stimulus payments, stimulus checks, child tax credits, and everything in between. So I promise, as you guys ask questions, I will try to address those questions, through video or down in the comment section below. Again, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Make sure you go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video. Also consider subscribing so that I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on, and I'll see you guys on the next one.